Hey my good friends, Sam Haymart for TestDrivenTV. Recently I got the chance to test drive the Mercedes-Benz GLA 250, and thus it's in the garage here for us to take a look under the hood, a complete tour of all the major components and maintenance service points. Powering the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250 crossover SUV is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine mounted transversely and driving the front or all 4 wheels through an 8-speed DCT automatic transmission. Codenamed M260 E20DE, this version of the engine produces 221 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It utilizes dual overhead camshafts with variable cam timing, 4 valves per cylinder, and has a twin-scroll turbocharger with an electronically controlled wastegate. Made in Germany, the engine is rated by the US EPA at 25 mpg city, 34 mpg highway, and 28 mpg combined in the front-wheel drive model. Following the airflow, the intake charge enters through a plastic snorkel at the top of the grille and into a sizable air filter box on the driver's side of the engine compartment. From there, it's drawn into the turbocharger mounted at the top in front of the engine. As this version of the M260 engine uses an air-to-air intercooler, air travels down to the lower front to a heat exchanger mounted ahead of the main radiator, then back up on the driver's side to the throttle body and intake manifold at the rear of the engine. At the head you can see the external components for its direct fuel injection with its steel fuel rails and the top of the injectors themselves. Toward the front are the coil packs for its 4 spark plugs. Exhaust gases make their way out through the twin-scroll turbocharger, which is shielded generously for thermal efficiency and protection of nearby components. The catalytic converter is mounted directly to it before the downpipe and downstream exhaust components. When it comes to maintenance, most serviceable components are easily located. The filter box is up front in plain sight. Mounted on top of it, though, is the engine control unit, or ECU. This makes filter replacement a bit more of a time-consuming process than most cars, and tools are required. Behind it is the 12-volt battery, neatly covered up with a bright red slide cover for the positive post. The brake fluid reservoir is found just behind it, and the windshield washer fluid reservoir is found just ahead next to the filter box with its bright blue cap. The oil filler cap is found in the obvious location at the top of the engine without the need to remove the sound cover to fill it up. The oil filter itself is located on the rear passenger side of the engine compartment and accessible from the top. Checking the oil here is a little different than most cars, however, as there's no conventional dipstick. To check the oil, you have to power the car up in accessory mode and read the level via a computer system service menu on the instrument cluster. Lastly, the coolant reservoir can be inspected and filled at the passenger side of the engine compartment, just adjacent to the strut tower. Alright my friends, there you have it for the under-hood tour of the Mercedes-Benz GLA 250. Now I know not most Mercedes-Benz customers are hunting and pecking around under their hood, but some do, so there you go if you're that person. Now, if you want to see the test drive for this vehicle, you can see that right here. Or if you just like listening to me talk about engines, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right there. Either way, stay tuned.